But it doesn't change the fact that the evidence, like what we're doing with Noah's Ark, but these are some things extra away from the site. Ron was looking for other artifacts and other evidence that would point to ancient tourists. All the ancient historians, Josephus, 2,000 years ago, the Jewish historian, he quoted a lot of these historians who talked about seeing like that tourists at that time, pilgrims, could go see the remains of Noah's Ark. And they could take, little lucky charms, talisman, and take it away. And up to the fourth century AD, so 300s, right after Constantine made um, Christianity legalized religion in the empire, during that century, some of the church historians even said the same thing. Whether they knew or they're just quoting older historians, these were people who were saying that people could go see Noah's Ark. So Ron was looking for evidence of that, near the site or away from the site, and he thought maybe that the Ark, and we do really believe because the Ark is on the middle of this low mountain range at 6,500 foot elevation, and the summit or the top of the range is about 8,000 feet, a little over 8,000 feet, which is the Iranian border. And so he was up there looking around, thinking, well, the flood story, the water recedes, the Ark would have grounded itself higher on the mountainside. The first part, the boat, the hull would have sunk in the mud. And then, so how did they get down to where it's at today? Well, you can look on Google Images or satellite. You can buy your own satellite, whatever, and you can see that this whole mountainside collapsed, and the mud flow, the earth flow coming down, carried whatever's in it all the way down to
Mm.
the base of the mountain, actually, the valley floor down below, which is at 5,000 foot elevation. So 1,500 more feet below is where the valley is. And the Ark is at 6,500. And then when you study the location of it, you can see that the Ark has like basically got stuck there. It's in the western edge of this narrow channel between two hills, with the west hill has the visitor center, and the valley floor is the Ark, but the Ark formation is pushed to that west side, and it's actually tilted like 4 or 5 degree angle towards where they now have the visitor center. Like so that's why the visitor center is the perfect spot. Like God planned ahead. If this is Noah's Ark, then it's a perfect location on that west side to take pictures of the Ark site because it's actually tilted to 4 or 5 degrees towards that west side. When you go to the east side, I've been on those hills on the east side, you see that eastern edge of the boat formation, but because the Ark is tilted, you can't see the shape. So you can't really take a picture. Um, and so when you look at these satellite images or drone photographs like we've taken, you can see the mud came down, would have brought the object, the Ark, itself to this narrow channel, and it shoved it over to the west side of the narrow channel. And that's why the Ark is tilted, because the mud's coming in and it's pushed it and changed the angle of it towards the west. And so that's why it's there. It's like friction has kept it there. And so, anyways, so basically, everyone believes that this formation, the Ark itself, landed higher up, which is now the Iranian border. And so that's why Ron's theory that there's inscriptions up there, that he finds them, it makes sense that the Ark, the original landing would have been higher up the mountain and then carried down to the current location. No, sadly, that part about the inscriptions so far have not panned out. But as part of the process, you're doing this work. You don't know what you'll find. Just like when we did the radar scans, we don't know what the data is going to show.